And I mentioned there is another sporting event happening tonight, and that is the NBA Finals Game 5. But before we touch on Game 5, we'll go back to Game 4, where the Warriors defeated the Cavaliers 108 to 97 in Cleveland. Which, I mean, to win in Cleveland on their home court, that was a devastating blow to the Cavaliers as far as their chances in this series. I mean, LeBron James still having a pretty decent night, nearly having a triple double, 25 points, 13 boards, 9 assists. Kyrie Irving contributing 34 points, but we talked about it in the Friday's show about Kevin Love and if he played, what would happen. I mean, we saw what they did when Kevin Love was out. Kevin Love comes back in and they lose by 11. I mean, coincidence? I think not.
Well, for me, essentially, we talked about this last week about how much of a defensive liability Love is, and it really showed with the pick and roll situations with him. He didn't play as much, however, it was still enough of the factor that every time he was on the court, he was not producing what they needed to. But I want to go onto the other side real quick to the Golden State Warriors. We talked about Stephen Curry not stepping up. We talked about Klay Thompson not being stepping up. Um, they did this game. I mean, Curry having 38 points, 6 assists and 5 rebounds off 11 and 25 shooting. Klay Thompson having 25 points off of 7 of 14 shooting. So, I mean, when we talked about these superstars needing to step up, essentially, they found a better time. They found no better time than the now to do it. And I feel like if they can continue having these good nights, there's no reason why this game wouldn't end. The series shouldn't end tonight.
And like I said in the last hour, that I mean, this is the first time these guys have showed up really since Game 6 of the Oklahoma City series, and to see them have I don't want to say a vintage, but a normal performance for those guys. Like I said last hour, these guys have looked like average players with the way they have played this postseason, and now they're starting to come back into their own. They're starting to look like a normal team, coming back, playing the way that they normally do. I was a little discouraged, as I said, with their bench having performed so poorly. But when you're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, when they played a short bench last night, it really didn't bother them much.
Now let me ask you both a question about this series. If the series ends tonight in Game 5, who do you have as the Finals MVP?
As much as I hate to say it, I mean, based on, we're obviously going to talk about this extremely soon. If Green was playing tonight and they win it, I would have put Green. But since he's suspended tonight, which we'll get into in a little bit, I feel like for some reason it's going to be Curry or even I feel Thompson or Curry. It sounds stupid, I mean, but you're not theoretically going to give an MVP to a bench player who had a good game. I'm talking about Livingston, where then after that he's had good spurts, not like the 20-point game in which he had. I feel like if you're going to talk about consistency, essentially, it's going to end up being Curry. I know that we talked about it in game 2 or 3, I want to say, the 2 points in one half, in which we gave him so much crap for it. But he's come back. He's shown us that he was the MVP for a reason. So it's either going to be Curry or it's going to be his other side of the Splash Brother duo. It's going to be Klay Thompson. So it's one of the two.
I would say Thompson. Thompson's had, I think, a more consistent series. He hasn't been putting up the points the way he had over the course of the series, but I mean, he saved, what was it, Game 6 in Oklahoma City to the point where the owner was on his knees bowing to him in the locker room. Um, Thompson, I think, has just been more consistent than Steph Curry has been this year. Curry's going to get it because he's, oh my God, unanimous MVP, best player in the league, so it has to go to him. But for consistency, I would say it would go to Thompson.
Yeah, I'd say Thompson as well. But we talked about this a little bit. We hinted at it, and the NBA had a very had a made a decision that impacts Game 5 directly. They reviewed the play where LeBron James pretty much stepped over Draymond Green. Draymond Green kind of pushed LeBron James to get him off, and then it looked like he might have taken a swing after that. But either way, the NBA upgraded that to a flagrant foul, a flagrant one. And as the rules are, the if you get he has, I believe, 4 flagrant points in these playoffs, and once you get 5, it's an automatic suspension. So for it being a flagrant one, he's suspended for Game 5. And crucial, like you said, if he's not, he might get the Finals MVP. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if this changes the landscape of this game that much, considering it's going back to Oracle. But I mean, this is obviously you want to win the finals on your home court, and so this is it's not great news for the Warriors.
No, it's really not. And I'm just going to state this right now on this point. We've every story that comes up for Mixed Up Sports Network and for us as a group, we've always talked about it on and off air. And I haven't had a chance to say it to these guys, so this is the first time anyone's hearing it from me.
Hey, no, no,
But
no,
this
no, no.
is
Not, no, no, no. You
No.
have not had a chance to say it. You just didn't want to.
You were
right,
saving it.
right. Well, whatever. Point is, we're going to get to it. Is the fact that to me, this is the dumbest thing you could have done. Is right now is that in my eyes, if we're talking about last series, yes, he deserved suspension last series. This series is completely different. In my eyes, that was not a flagrant. I feel that LeBron James is because it's, this is not the NBA, this is the LBA, LeBron Basketball Association, because everybody, sucks up to him and everybody has to be around him. I feel that once you touch the golden boy of the NBA, you're going to get calls turned against you. And I think it's a bit ridiculous that LeBron James can be, the aggressor in this situation, even jaw at Curry, and still get away with all this. To me, it's absolutely ridiculous that Draymond Green is seeing everything taken out on him when LeBron James is the guy who, one, before that play was half the reason why Draymond was on the ground in the first place. Two, stepping over him, and then 3, getting in his face, and to the point where his teammates had to back off, and he was still going at it. And Draymond just backed off. To me, LeBron James is the whole reason why this is being happen.
It's so nice to know that I do this show with somebody else who has common sense. There was no reason for LeBron to have done what he did, and I would have gone off on this on my show, but it would have made this mute. It made Draymond Green would not have done what he did if it wasn't for LeBron doing what he did. There is no reason to, one, take somebody down on an inbound play and then step over him. There is zero reason for that. And then to get involved with Steph Curry the way he got involved with Curry. No reason for that. Absolutely no reason for that. LeBron showed last night how frustrated he is, and he acted like a little he acted like a little kid in Game 4. He did. The fact that Draymond Green is getting suspended because LeBron threw a temper tantrum is absurd.
Now, I feel like I may be the only one that might be able to defend LeBron, given your reasonings.
You feel.
I kind of feel like that. Anyways, I mean, the fact of the matter here is, did LeBron have to step over him and push him down? No. But Draymond Green came back, took a swing at him, nearly hit him in his groin.
No, he did not. He
Called
tried
that.
to push him off.
Yeah, okay.
With
Nick,
one hand?
You can't,
With
Get
one
away,
hand?
get away.
Nick, you can't sit here and tell me that you wouldn't, if someone stepped over you, you wouldn't move your
You would-
arm in a motion to
Okay,
back him
all
off.
right.
Like,
That
go away.
that might not have been a swing, but he got up and then took a swing at LeBron.
He didn't. He flipped his hand. He flipped the backhand at him.
Exactly. That's taking a swing. By rules, a flagrant foul is unnecessary aggression.
He didn't
Draymond
even
Green-
keep the feet of him.
Okay, but LeBron James had to be restrained by his teammates. That's showing aggression. I don't see him getting any flagrant. I don't see anything happening to LeBron James for the reason why his teammates had to hold him back. And then in the following play, give crap to Curry. Like, Curry did something wrong. It's absolutely ridiculous the amount of support that LeBron James gets for being the bad guy in this situation.
Hold on a
He
second.
was
Are
at
we
fault.
actually saying that the Warriors are on the bad side of the NBA? Because how many times during these playoffs should Draymond Green have been suspended?
We're
So
not.
I think I'm up to
that-
4 or something.
We all said he should have gotten suspended during the Oklahoma
Yes.
City series.
But the whole point is that Draymond Green, his backstory, or not his backstory, but the player he is a very dirty player. I think we can
Can't
all
go,
agree on that.
can't go back and say we
I'm
should
not
have
saying that. I'm
suspended
not saying
you
he's a
now, so
dirty
we're going to
player.
give you
So
flagrant here.
any attempt at a player for Draymond Green, in my eyes, that's he's
He
able
didn't
to get
go
away
within
with
two
kicking
feet
dudes.
of hitting him.
He's getting away with kicking dudes in the nuts. I mean, how far do you go?
And we all
Anything.
said he should have gotten suspended for that.
I know. I'm just saying, him being a dirty player with what he did to LeBron James.
To be fair, I don't see Draymond as a dirty player. I see him as a competitive player. He's been doing this back in college, and the only reason why now it's brought up about these kicks is because of the Steven Adams situation that happened last series, and we all said that he should be suspended. But this is ridiculous. You can't say
Wait,
that
wait, wait.
Draymond Green is a dirty player. No, but
Are you
hear me out.
saying
You can't
Draymond
say
Green
that.
is not a dirty player?
I'm not. I'm saying he's competitive. I'm saying that he gets down and he gets in people's faces. Yes, don't get me wrong.
I'm
But the
saying he's
point
a
is,
lanky 6'10" and can't control his legs.
yeah, essentially, yeah. But when it comes to this, I mean, you can't look at him and go, oh, well, he got suspended because he's a dirty player. No, LeBron James is a crybaby. He started all this, and you're not going to get mad at LeBron. You're going to say it's all Draymond Green's fault. I mean, come on.
Another thing you have to take into account is you can't base putting a flagrant on, well, if he hits one more, it's a suspension. You have to play it as if it's a separate event, a flagrant one. If this wasn't a suspension, sure there might be outlash, but just because Draymond Green has accumulated these flagrant fouls, that's why this is an issue.
You're right. He's accumulated the flagrant fouls, but he would not have done what he did if LeBron did not instigate that.
I'm not saying LeBron
instigated two incidences, and he didn't get a flagrant for either one. He got a technical.
I'm not saying that LeBron is
How do
completely.
you give LeBron a technical for instigating two incidences, and you give Green a flagrant for reacting?
I'm not saying that LeBron is completely out of fault. Like I said, he did not have to step over Draymond Green and push him down. But as an NBA player, you have got to control your emotions. And with Draymond Green taking a swing at LeBron James, you cannot let that go on in an NBA game. You cannot
So
allow them to do that.
Control your emotions, my God.
You're talking
It's
about
not like it's the
yeah,
finals
like
or
that.
anything.
Control your emotions. And LeBron James, let's face it, he didn't control his emotions either. I just mentioned like 7 times about his teammates having to hold him back. Let's face it, LeBron James is just as fault. I think more at fault than Green is at this point. The
Did
fact
he
that
take a swing at
everybody.
Draymond Green?
Okay, but
He
he
threw him
threw
to
the guy down.
ground.
How many
He threw
times does Draymond Green throw someone to the ground and nothing happened to him? It's the same exact thing. Do we remember last series where Draymond Green threw Steven Adams or Enes Kanter
And
to the
we
ground?
said he should have been suspended for it.
I know, I'm saying that he didn't get anything for it, so why are we making a big deal when LeBron does this? It's the same situation, just different players. And just because it resorted in someone being suspended because of their actions in these playoffs. I mean,
It's the fact that there's no consistency in it. If
there is consistency because Draymond Green
would've
didn't
gotten
get called.
suspended in this series, I would not have had a problem with him getting suspended now.
I'm saying there is consistency
But he
with the
didn't.
call of no technical or no flagrant, I mean, when throwing someone to the ground.
They did not go back and review it in the last series, though. They went back and reviewed it this time.
Because you have to protect the players.
What, you
Yeah,
don't
they
protect players in the conference finals, only in the league final?
I'm not
Or
saying
it's
that.
just
I'm not saying
LeBron.
that's wrong. They should have reviewed it. I'm just saying that you have got when someone takes a swing at harming a player, let it. Sure, it's a big player in LeBron James, but you cannot let that go unpunished.
Players in this league, same thing with the NFL, positions are not created equal. Players in the NBA, more so than any other league, are not created equal. We've seen it for years. LeBron got fouls that Shumpert will never get. Kobe Bryant got fouls that Sean Livingston could never dream of getting. The NBA plays favorites without a doubt. It does. This is another case of the NBA playing favorites because a questionable action was done to LeBron. Regardless of whether or not he started it, the player who tried to harm the biggest money ticket in the NBA right now, that player has to go for a game.
And the thing that bothers
Again,
me
because
is
he did it to Steven Adams is 9/10 of the reason why he didn't get suspended. If he would have done it to Durant, he'd have been out of the series.
the thing
Players
that
are not
also
created equal in the NBA.
the thing that bothers me just as much too is that after the game in the press conference I watched, LeBron James gave so much crap to Draymond Green as if Draymond Green was the one who threw LeBron to the ground and then hit LeBron again. And then goes around and says, "Oh well, Curry jawed at me and Curry said some stuff too," but that's just
What, you've never looked in. Le, Kobe Bryant learned Italian just so he could trash talk and not get flagrants on him.
Like I said, I'm not defending LeBron that he did nothing wrong, but you can in the NBA you can't retaliate like that. I don't care how many times someone has instigated something, you cannot retaliate with what Draymond did. Retaliation is what gets punished.
but there would be no retaliation if LeBron didn't play dirty and what had happened. If LeBron James played like a decent player and wasn't babied by the entire league, Draymond Green would be playing tonight, and LeBron James wouldn't be looking like a crybaby. Well, I mean, he still does, but I mean, that's not the point I'm trying to get at. Is the fact that because of who he is, and like Frankie had mentioned it, the favoritism in the NBA and the way that he can get away with doing these dirty things. I mean, let's face it, LeBron James gets away with a lot of things, and he gets a lot of calls.
Okay, all right, yeah, LeBron James gets away with a lot, but how much have the Warriors gotten away with this season? If you're
Well,
talking
I'm
about
saying
playing
they haven't.
favorites, the
When they're-
Warriors are by far the NBA's rooting for the Warriors.
Of course, because they were rooting for the record.
Oh, okay, well that doesn't mean then they're playing favorites too. So why are you getting on LeBron when they're doing the same thing for the Warriors?
Because this
LeBron
was
has
a
happened this
situation
for
where they favored
years.
LeBron.
How many times should have Draymond Green been suspended? You can't play favorites with LeBron and then say that the
Once.
Warriors have nothing going against them.
We all agree that he should have been suspended last series. That's not the point that we're trying to get at. The point is that right now, LeBron James is having no repercussions for his actions, while Draymond
Oh,
Green's
yes,
saying,
he did. He has repercussions. He got a technical.
"Oh my."
Like I said, okay, if Draymond Green isn't at a risk of suspension and it's just a flagrant foul, do you have a problem with it?
Yes,
Yes.
because that was
Do
instigated.
you have
by
as much of a problem with it?
Yes, because it was instigated by LeBron. He should have gotten a flagrant.
Okay, well,
The instigator
if
should
if
always
LeBron gets a flagrant
the
and
same
Draymond Green get
more
a
than the
flagrant, do you have an
retaliator.
issue with it?
What was that? I'm sorry. I was
If
yelling.
LeBron gets a flagrant as well as Draymond,
No, then it's just.
it doesn't matter at this point because LeBron, even if he gets a flagrant, nothing happens to him.
Yeah, but the fact that he still got the flagrant and the league is
Exactly.
looking at him saying like it was his fault, then
It's the
fine, we get
principle.
over it.
It's the principle of it. If they both get flagrants, the instigator should always get the same, if not more, than the person who was
Yes,
the person
but we have
retaliating.
seen this time and time again that the instigator isn't as punished as much in the NBA.
Because the NBA plays favorites. If it was Bogut on James, Bogut would have been assessed a flagrant too, and he would have been suspended for tonight.
I'm saying that we have seen in the NBA, anyone that instigates anything doesn't get nearly enough as the person who retaliates. They're staying consistent in that regard. Granted, like I said, LeBron is in the wrong. He shouldn't have done that. And he got a technical. I'm not saying that that makes it all fine and good. But that the whole reason we're arguing about this is because Draymond Green's actions led to this happening.
No, it was LeBron.
No,
it was
no,
LeBron's
Draymond Green's-
actions that led to Green's actions that led to what happened.
Even after the play, Draymond Green backed up and said, "You know what? We're here to play a game. We're not here to be babies." And LeBron kept going at him. You can't say that Draymond Green's at fault when the guy tried to keep the thing
And
going.
then a minute later, he
And
went
what's
after.
fuel to the fire?
Then a minute later, he almost threw Curry to the ground.
I can't believe that you're saying that Draymond Green is playing cleaner than LeBron in these finals.
Game 4, he was. Game 4, he was.
I'm
I'll tell you this though, I thought I was going to be the one that was on the underside on here. I am very happy with the way this segment has gone out, actually. I thought I would have been the minority.
I'm just saying.
It's not.
Go on.
I'm not saying that Draymond has played cleaner than LeBron this series, but in that regard, in that situation alone, Draymond handled that situation 10 times better than LeBron James did. LeBron James, in that situation that we are specifically talking about, not the entire series, just this situation, he was the dirty player. He should be the one getting punished, not Green.
If
If
LeBron
anything,
if LeBron knocks Green down and just walks away, then you know what? I'd say it's fine. LeBron deserves a penalty, yes. But the fact that he stepped over him when he had literally the length of the court to his left and the length of the court to his right to walk
and
around him.
Draymond Green was in the motion of getting up, and he still decided to step over him.
There's no reason. There is zero reason for that.
But there's no reason to swing at LeBron James. Extending your arm in a motion to hit someone is not pushing him off.
Have you ever got mad at something and you just
goodness.
swung your arms out like that? Have you ever gotten mad at something and you just swing your arm out and like you're
well,
upset?
just because he hit LeBron James doesn't mean well he was just getting up. We should let him go.
But let's face it, if you
That's
ever
what he was doing!
The NBA has
him.
let Draymond Green get away with too much in these playoffs to let this go by.
These playoffs, we're talking about this series.
That we all said he should have gotten suspended last series. What the NFL is doing now is they're making up for last series.
The reason that he's in this situation is because he's committed so many flagrant fouls.
But there's no reason to get a flagrant in this case.
He took a swing at LeBron.
LeBron was
threw
5
him.
feet away.
Yes, but like I said, you cannot retaliate in the NBA. That gets punished. You
Okay, but
have to know that as a
LeBron did
player.
more
It's
damage.
about playing the game the NBA has. The
LeBron did more
NBA.
damage by the throwing down than Draymond did by flinging his arms out. And
All
he
right,
didn't
if this
even
was
graced him at most.
if this was Kevin Love that threw Draymond Green down, would we complain? No, because everyone loves to hate on LeBron.
No, I'm sure we still would have
For the
complained
sake-
at the fact.
For the sake of the future of this show, back after this. Don't go away.